For the question today, we will be looking at number 5b. This number 5b question is a quadratic equation question. Either you call it quadratic equation or quadratic expression, depending on how the equation is presented to you. Now, I have already treated lots and lots of questions about quadratic equation in this channel. So please, I want to encourage you to go in there in this channel and view all the quadratic equation series. We also have a playlist on that. You can check it out from our channel page, and you will see all the playlists we have on quadratic equation. My name is Justice Johnson, and I want to welcome you into this channel, Math Fusions. This is a channel where we make maths easy for you to learn. Now let's dive into the lesson for today. Now here we are still dealing with Wassce June 2005 Mathematics 2 theory questions. Now let's go into the question. The question is if m plus 1 and m minus 3 are factors of m squared minus km plus c, then find the values of k and c. Now, when we are given two factors of a quadratic equation, like as what we have here, m plus 1 and n minus 1, what that means is, if we multiply these two factors together, the result must give us this quadratic expression that we have here, m squared minus km plus c. So that is the first thing we are going to do. We are going to start up by multiplying these two factors together and equating it towards m squared minus km plus c. So let's get right into it. So here we are going to write out the first factor, which is what? M plus 1. Then we multiply it by the second factor, m minus 3. And then we equate everything to what is given us here as 3m squared minus km then plus c. Okay, so this is what is given to us. Now, without telling you, on the left hand side here, we are going to expand these two factors. So I'm going to multiply them out. And the first thing we do is to come to the content of the first bracket. We pick our m, this m that is here, write it out, m. And then we use it to multiply everything in the second bracket, which is m minus 3. Then we come to the next content of the bracket, plus 1. We write it out here, plus 1. And use it to multiply everything in the second bracket again, which is m minus 3. And then we equate it to all the values you see on the right hand side, which is m squared minus km plus c. So at this point now, we are going to expand these values we have here. So m times m will give us m squared. Then minus m times 3 will give us 3m. Then plus what? 1 times m will give us m. And then since the signs are different, we have plus, we have minus, and we are multiplying them. The result will be what? Minus. So different sign will always give us minus. Then 1 times 3 will give us 3. Then equals to, here we have m squared minus km plus c. So there you have it. We have arrived at this point. So we are still working on the left side, because every quadratic equation must have at least 3 terms. As you can see here, we have the first term m squared, the middle term minus km, the third term what? Plus c. But over here, we're having 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So if we come to the middle terms here, we need to resolve it, which is minus 3m plus 3. And how do we resolve it? We go on ahead to simplify. So here we got m squared. Now minus 3m plus 1m is like saying minus 3 plus 1. And minus 3 plus 1 will give us minus 2. Then you attach the minus 2 to your m. Then you write out your minus 3. Then everything equals to m squared minus km plus c. So at this point here now, we are going to equate each terms. That's what we are going to do. So meaning that anything we have on the left side must also be on the right side. So we'll write it here. We say equating each terms. Equating each term. So what do we mean by that? You see that the first term here, m squared, corresponds to the first term here, m squared. So that one is settled. Now come to the middle term, we have minus 2m. We must also equate the minus 2m in the middle term on the left side to the minus km in the middle term on the right side. So you will say equals to minus what? Minus km. Now let us resolve this. There is a negative sign on the left and a negative sign on the right. The negative sign will cancel each other. There is an m here and also there is an m here. So the m will cancel out each other. You can see that on the right side we have k that is left there. Then on the left side we have 2. That means the value for k is what? Equals to 2. So we've gotten that value for k. Now let's go on ahead to still equate. Here we are still going to equate minus 3 to what? Plus c. So we'll write it out. Minus 3 equals to what? Plus c. This is the constant term. The constant terms. Okay. That's what we just did now. We just equated the constant terms. While what we did here before is the middle terms. So in the first instance, we equated the middle terms to arrive at the value for k to be 2. And now we are equating the what? The constant terms. And you can see here that our c, therefore, must equals what? Minus 3. So there you have it. That is the answer to this question. We can therefore conclude that our k is what? 2 and our c is minus 3. And that is the answer to this question. I'm sure you enjoyed this lesson.